All right, y'all. Good morning. Today is a beautiful day here, not to be at the wage cage, out here on the farm. I need to prune all of my trees. Also, I'm gonna fertilize around the base surrounding where the trees have settled, and about half a pound of 10-10-10 fertilizer. I'm gonna do that by hand, just so that way I can do it exactly right. Let's get to it. But first, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of sharpening with my pruners here, because you do want clean, sharp pruners for when you're pruning your trees, because you want it to be a clean cut. A little whetstone here, a little bit of my drinking water, pour it on here. So I'm just taking it and I'm opening it. I can't really get the whole blade because of the way it is. Do some strokes here on this side. Each side has a different grit. I can't remember the grits. But I use this to sharpen my knives a lot, and it's a lot easier than sharpening pruners. Just gonna go down the line here, and at first I'm gonna use my knee to measure where I'm gonna prune. Roughly the length from my heel of my boot to my knee is 24 inches. I've actually measured it. We've got a lot of shoots here. We're actually trying to only have 3 to 5 scaffold branches. Scaffold branches are gonna be our low branches here, lateral branches here that come out at a decent angle. We don't want them to be too upright, and we want them to all be between 18 to 24 inches. And select 3 to 5. I'm probably gonna keep this one. They all look so fragile. I'm gonna take off about a quarter on the edge of the lateral shoots, and I'm gonna take off the top. So, and I always use a beveled cut. It should stiffen the branches and make them stronger. Like that. Looks pretty good. It's in the 18 to 24 range. I'm gonna choose 4 for as many as I can. That was my first one that I've ever done of a young peach tree shoot. I want the peach trees to grow into a quad V formation. Here's an example of where I've got, it's not a complete, what they would call a whip, where there'd be no branches, but there is some lateral branches and they're very upright. I don't think I'll be able to use either of these. So this season, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not cut these, let them grow upright, and I'm gonna remove these at a later date and select my scaffold branches below these, you know, because I need a better angle. Because if these are too upright, when the peach tree continues to grow and I let these be my scaffold branches, then they're going to break when any peaches or a force is applied. So I'll come and remove these at a later date. Here's a pretty good one. It's at the right height. I've got a lot to choose from, a little bit less now. But I'm gonna prune the tips of this. This one's an ideal shoot that I got from the nursery, or an ideal tree that I got from the nursery. They're not perfectly upright, which it bothers me. Cut like an inch above that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd rather have 4. One's very upright, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Get about a quarter off of these. Beveled cuts. That's still 5. This one, because I don't want them to be too close together. I don't know if you can see it super well, but I like the distance between this one and this one and this one and this one, but not really this one and this one. We're gonna roll with that. I really like this one. I'd like to have a little bit more distance between these, because I want them, when it grows up, I want it to be strong and be able to bear load. But I like the way this is probably the best one out of the 4 I've done so far. But I gotta keep going, I got a lot to do. Here's one that's just what they call a whip, just an on-branch shoot. From the graft union up, there's no lateral branching, it's just the way it came from the nursery. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna measure 18 to 24 inches, and I'm gonna go about 6 inches above, 4 to 6 inches above, and make the cut. This is gonna be very upright and vigorous, these few shoots, and I'm gonna remove them at a later date next season. And then I'll use the buds below it that grow laterally and grow at a better angle as my future scaffold branches. I'm also gonna need to paint the trunk white to protect from winter damage, sun damage. Also, it protects from any applications I make if I have to. This one's already got a little flower on it. Breaking dormancy, easy. Should have done this a few weeks ago. All right, y'all, so I got my little food scale here. I need to get a real actual scale, but I'm gonna tear it this little measuring cup. And then get my bag of fertilizer here, 10, 10, 10. This is what the soil test recommended. Okay, that's a little over. I want half a pound. So that way I can go to each tree and go around the ring, put half a pound around each tree. I'm gonna do it by hand just because be precise, more cost effective. It is more annoying than just broadcasting it with the hopper, but we're gonna do it this way. And now I know, yeah, we're just gonna get to it. And all the trees in this orchard, the big orchard by the pond that's getting irrigated. Still gotta prune the orchard up there, but I don't need to measure again, so we're done here. 50-pound bag would fit in a bucket. Would have thought. I put my shirt back on because it says not to let it contact your skin, or if you do, wash it off thoroughly. And let's get to it. All right, well, I ain't gonna film every one of these because there's so many to do. But I'm not putting it directly at the base of the tree because fertilizer can burn your plants. I'm gonna do it around the ring, and that is just what the education suggests. And just like that, we're done. On to the next. All right, guys, so I got all my trees painted in white latex water-based paint with no oils, no acrylics. Like, this will protect it from sun damage and winter injury. The reason why we put the fertilizer surrounding where the dirt has settled around where we planted the tree is because obviously these are not ready for uptake. So much literature online provided by NC State Extension on through these growing pains. You don't need to go through them as well if you're planning on planting any peach trees at home or doing something commercially for the first time. I'll put some links into the description about Dr. Parker's research, and so much information there on what you need to do.